Hi, and welcome to the SelectedTech podcast, brought to you by a group of 4 MVPs doing webinars, sessions, and interviews on all things SharePoint, Office 365, and the Microsoft AI ecosystem. Their motto is learn, share, reuse. And here they are, Albert Jan, Rick, Stefan, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, so we're back, and today we're going to talk about change notifications in the Microsoft Graph. I have the documentation already open. I think everybody has seen this already. Remember, you have to create a subscription, and then the Microsoft Graph is smart enough to let you know if something changed, like, I don't know, SharePoint item updated or something like that. In this case, I'm going to need a mail sent updated. But as you can see from the documentation, or if you ever done this before, you remember that it was a hassle. You had to create a website, and then the Microsoft Graph is gonna do a webhook to you, and then you have to answer with the 200, and then if it existed, then do it again, and then you have to put it in the queue and all that stuff. Well, there's a new way these days. It's kind of hidden in the documentation. Change notifications, change tracking. Where was it? There was something. Where did they? It's hidden somewhere. Alternative way of change notifications. Where is it? See, it's really hidden in this documentation. Change notification. You guys see it? No.
What are you looking for?
For the different way to get a change notification. Where was it? Yeah, I usually just do Google. So Microsoft Graph. To get to the documentation, I don't go through the documentation. Change notification event. It's something with it. It has to do with an event. There we go. Get change notifications delivered in a different way. So it's weird that it's not in the API documentation, but it's somewhere under change notification. I had this open, right? Under develop. Oh, okay. It's under. It's somewhere. Somewhere.
Different
different way. So in this way, what actually is the trick is that Microsoft, if you take an event hub from the Azure, so an event hub is I don't know, I think it's originally from the IoT part or something like that. It's built to get a lot of events at the same time, and then you get those in, and then you can subscribe to whoever, your code subscribes to different events, and then you can take an action on that. The cool thing about this is, first of all, you don't need to, what it says here, so you don't need to build a public website. It's all done in the backend for you. And okay, the Event Hub has a public URL, but let me guess, the graph is in the back, is in Microsoft somewhere in the data center. That Event Hub is always also somewhere in the data center, so it will probably take the shortest route and will not go through the internet. And you don't need to have all that boilerplate code that says, okay, if it's a notification of the graph to verify that you created a webhook subscription, then do this, and if it's not, then do something else, and then put it in the queue, and then manage this. And so it's pretty, it's way simpler. So you don't need the notification URL validation. So this documentation says it all how to do it. You actually just create an event hub and a key vault, because actually, the connection string, that's also cool. The connection string of the event hub is in your key vault. So you don't tell the graph, hey, this is my event hub. No, you tell the graph, I want a subscription, and this is my key vault, where you can get the connection string of the event hub, which is also pretty cool because I didn't know that. So apparently, there's a special app registration. If I go here, a special app registration for the Microsoft Graph change notification. So it's in the documentation. So if you go to your key vault, so I created a secret. I just put my connection string in here. So this is my Event Hub Graph connection string. But it has a access policy. If I can find it somewhere, where is it? Where's my access policies? It's probably here. I'm clicking too much. Access policies. Here it is. So I have a new access policy that says the Microsoft Graph change something. Yeah, it's too small here. It can do a get, and then of course my code can do a lot more, and I can do a lot more. But where is it? The Microsoft Graph change tracking. So you tell the Microsoft Graph, hey, you can get this key I give you access to this key, and in that key is the connection string to the event hub, which is also pretty cool. And then, yeah, you still have to create a subscription, of course, but that's not the hardest boilerplate code. I have it somewhere open here. Where is it? Create webhook subscription. I'll put it a little bit bigger. So it's pretty basic. So we connect to the Microsoft Graph. I, of course, have different subscriptions. So I put that in a table storage somewhere that I know which subscription is going on what. And in this case, I'm making a subscription on my mailbox, which says if this user has an inbox of messages, so if messages comes in, then save that subscription and create it. And then I'll have an updater here as well, because I think for Exchange subscriptions last for 7 days or something. It's not like with SharePoint that it lasts for 3 months. So yeah, you have to run it pretty a lot, but yeah, just create a web job, it runs every day or every 2 days. Pretty basic stuff. Now the reason why I'm showing you all of this is because everybody knows this one page. I hope so. Everybody knows this page. So the compliance.microsoft.com page, and there you have data loss prevention. Now, data loss prevention is a very broad topic, and I didn't know that, but Microsoft takes a very funny way. They take an approach to it that they think is how it works. So it says even at you open a page, it says it. To identify and protect your organization's sensitive info, for example, you can set up policies to help make sure information in email and docs isn't shared with the wrong people. So in this case, okay, that's maybe Microsoft thinking everybody's good, but in this case, they're already assuming that somebody is by accident sharing information with the wrong people, which in data loss prevention is actually can also be, they probably want to do the other way around. So you want to stop people doing, I have to create a template. You want to stop people from sending out information. So here I can say, okay, if it's, I don't know, financial data, or if it's medical data, or if it's privacy, all this stuff has one thing in common. It checks the email for content, for files, for structures, and I don't know, structures in numbers. If it's 5 numbers dash 2 numbers, then it's some kind of European number. And if it's a bank account or a Visa number. So, which is sometimes good, but you have a lot of false positives. If you take 10 numbers, you send, I've seen companies who send a lot of invoices and a lot of numbers in their emails. Yeah, they're all created the DLP policy because, oh, this might be a Visa number and this might be an Australian social security number, which is just 5 numbers. So pretty basic stuff that gets triggered a lot. So yeah, you can do, you can do custom policies, but then it's attached to labels and all that stuff. There's no such thing where you can say, okay, maybe if somebody emails to domain A, domain B, domain C, whatever, our competition, for instance, then something's going on. Then we need to investigate that user. Or if somebody's doing, I don't know, if we have a blacklist of people, because if that guy sends to that guy, then we have another problem. So yeah, it's very, you don't have any possibility to enhance it as much as you want. So let's build something ourselves. Now, we could use, I haven't tried it yet, we could use this event hub with the subscription, of course, from the Microsoft Graph, and put a subscription on everybody's sent mail. And so let's say we have I don't know, a user base of 50,000 users. Let's do it on all those users with sent mail. Then yeah, my subscription would be running all the time and updating all the time. So yeah, we need an easier way. Now, don't make fun of me. It's an easy way, but it's not the nicest way. There is something called, I think you all know that. There are mail flows and rules in Exchange Admin Center, which can trigger a warning that somebody does something wrong. So here I've created a policy, and that says if Rick sends, so it's just on my account, but you can of course extend that. For instance, if I don't know, all these people from this group or this security group, this AD group sent, those are the people we need to monitor. Then you can send a custom incident report, and I've created a shared mailbox. You can see it here. Where is it? Here, this is just a shared mailbox. It can be any mailbox. I hate this in Exchange Online. This always goes away. But send a custom incident report to that mailbox, and then custom content, because I want who sent it, what did he send, what's the email, stuff like that. So every time I send out a mail, this mailbox gets a notification. how do these look? Let me just, because of course, if I put it in my inbox, I get I have my subscription of my change notification subscription running. So if I put something in the inbox, it will detect it, so it will run, and it's pretty fast. So for instance, do I have something testy? Wait, let me see. Let me just send an email. There we go. We'll just send a simple email to myself. Come on, email. Who's my email? Email? Yeah, there we go. Let me just drag it to my other screen. There we go. So simple email from one email account to another to test and to test. And then you will quickly see it pop in. If it's sending, come on.
And thank you for showing your phone number, so I have something to edit then afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. People can call me. No worries. I get it's an energy
free consulting.
Crisis. Yeah, it's an energy crisis, Tommy. I get 4 calls a day. Hello, my colleague is by accident in your neighborhood. Can he come by with new energy prices? it's a mess in Belgium. So what do I get? The report ID. I don't need that. Automatically generated. I don't need that information as well. But this one I need, of course, because this is the internet message ID. I need to know that Rick sent it. I need to know the subject. I need to know who was the recipient. And then, you can have more recipients as well, and who was it. Now comes the cool part, actually. So the cool part is you saw it disappear. So it's instant. So you saw it disappear because I have a subscription. And in that subscription, I'm saying, okay, process all incoming mails. So I'll have in this case, I'm using durable functions. Why? Because I have lots of steps that need to be taken. One takes a little bit longer, one's a little bit slower. So for instance, getting all the attachments from an email, that can take a while, and we need to save those attachments somewhere because we need to scan those attachments, what's in them. So, and then you have small ones like, okay, who's the sender? Is he blacklisted? Something simple. So I have my event hub, I have my connection string. So every time something comes into the event hub, this thing is reading it. So it's running in Azure now, and every time something comes in, it will do it. And I have, of course, a DLP entity. Now, let me just zoom out that I can see myself what's going on. So the message comes in. We need to save everything. So I save everything. I go to the graph. I get that email from that. So you just get the event. Same as with the webhook. Just get the event. Hey, something happens. But I still need to go to that email box, that monitor email box, get that email and read that out. And then once I have that information, so these will be the notifications. Once I have that information, I will get the message and I will convert it, which is actually pretty ugly because it's all okay. If it says message, it's all hard-coded text because that was the email you just saw. So until I get something more pretty from the I've looked at it and it's not even HTML that they generate. It's really like, okay, Exchange guys, div, not even div. I think it's just enter, no HTML, enter, and just I read line by line. So, but it works. For now, it works. So I get that information. I save that, of course, to, in this case, a table storage. We can also use a Cosmos DB, depending on how much money you want to spend, of course. And then I can start my filtering. So I just start, this is the first thing that reads the event hub, and then the actual the durable functions will start. So here I have my orchestrator, which is actually all the logic. Now, I don't know how much you know about durable functions, but this is the orchestrator that actually cannot hold any logic, or no real business logic. Don't call build. This is logic, but nothing. Call an API, do something else. Log an event is the only thing you can do, but all the other things has to be in a different function. So I'm gonna get my input. So this starts because it was called, and then okay, is my sender and my receiver, are they whitelisted? Yes, no. Are they blacklisted? Yes, no. Are they a shared mailbox that's blacklisted? Do they contain? See here I'm gonna get the message, message and the attachment. So I'm really gonna go to. In this case, I need access to everybody's mailbox. I'm really gonna go to your mailbox because what you just saw, I get the subject, I get the sender, I get the receiver, but I don't think I get the content of the email. So I do have to go to that person's email. So I have a read.all from the Microsoft Graph on everybody's email. But of course, I know that I sent it, and I know that was the idea. So I could just call the Graph and say, hey, Rick's mailbox, where the internet message ID is this ID, and good to go. And then you can do other things like whitelisted keywords and stuff like that. And then it will be manual processed if needed. Yeah, that's more of the business logic, that if something doesn't skip through all the filters, then of course somebody needs to manually look at that email to see if there was a DLP policy called. And as you can see here, you have all the functions, of course. So is domain whitelisted? Where did I have it somewhere? Still here. It's a comment because I was working on it, but is sender receiver whitelisted? And then we'll just say, do some logic. In this case, I have a lot of configuration files. I store them in SharePoint. I know we're all SharePoint, ex-SharePoint guys. So if there's like CSV files, I'll store them in SharePoint. But of course, SharePoint is not fast enough to follow this stuff because it flies like if you see how fast it is. So there's a lot of logic in it. Where is it? There we go. A lot of logic. Get a sender, check the contents of the email, get the attachments. But then if you go to the logs, then you can see it just takes like milliseconds to run for all that stuff. So last 30 minutes. There we go. Those were the ones that came in. As you can see, of course, we have a lot of server requests. Why? Because that is the way durable functions work. It's one function that calls the next one, that calls the next one. That the framework takes care of it for you. It puts it in the queue and whatever, and blob storage and all that stuff. It will take care of everything for you. But of course, your server requests are going to be a lot. So you have to build in. I build in some custom logging at least to figure out what was really going on, because otherwise you see a lot of hits and a lot of calls. Also because and the way durable functions work is, so if you debug it, it's really weird. You see, so let's say we come in here and we do our first function, then you go into your first function, then you come back, you would say, let's start here. No, the durable function starts from the beginning. It just knows, I already executed this function. So it starts from the beginning again, then step, and then it does this one. And then, okay, it goes into that function, executes that function, starts again from the beginning, but it still remembers I did this one, and I have to, it just magically skips them. So it's really weird if you're debugging, because you would suspect, okay, it's stepping into this one. No, it just skips it because it knows, okay, I already did this one. So that's a little bit weird, especially because I don't know if don't have any, no, in this one I don't have any logging. So that's also why if you add custom logging to this one, that you say, okay, did this step already done? Yes, no, okay, then if it's no, then please log that you're doing this step, because otherwise, it's going to get really, really awkward. But let me see. So filter, there we go. Where was it created? When did it come in the mail? So I have a lot of logs because, of course, it's automatically logs as well. See, 18 milliseconds, process incoming mails, 460 million. It doesn't take that long. So if I say, let me see. Can I search for my email? Yeah, this is better. Manual, this was one. Was it this one? Yep. Get email, process email. So it started at 45 and it ended at 55. So 10 seconds to get everything. Of course, getting the attachments, getting all the files, getting all the information, doing the logic, if it's okay, if it's blacklisted, if it's not blacklisted, all that stuff. And actually, we just do one graph call here, another one here, probably to get the attachments, and that's it. I guess you have something like that. So pretty cool stuff. I've tested this out in production, and it goes super fast. You have no idea how many calls the graph can take without being. I would suspect we would get throttled, but nothing. So in this case, I love the graph a lot more. Oh yeah, and I was actually explaining that I put my configs in SharePoint, but that was too slow. So that's why I have a configuration cacher. every hour it runs, it takes the CSV file, dumps it in something that is fast. Because yeah, SharePoint is not that fast, especially not to send the receiver blacklisted. We have combinations of like, I don't know, 1 million combinations or something like that. So they they already had scans from previous years. Okay, these people and these emails are not good and stuff like that. So they scan them out. So that's in a nutshell, but it's pretty cool, pretty easy to set up. No webhooks, no boilerplate code for the webhooks. I don't know how much the boilerplate code is for the webhooks, but let me see. Microsoft Graph webhook.
But from a logical point, you are when you look at the mail flow, you are reacting on message received, basically.
Yeah, it's a message sent. Yeah, I'm reacting. I turn it around. So instead of reacting to everybody sending out a message, because that would be too much, because it's data loss prevention. So I'm actually not interested in you sending an internal mail to Stefan. That I don't care about. But that would mean that if I put a notification on your sent items, that I would also get all your sent items to internal people, to I don't know, meetings and all that stuff. That I'm not interested in. So if you turn it around and say, okay, let's create a rule, let Exchange do all that work. So if it's going outside, because this is because of debugging, because I just want to send an email every time I send an email, it's okay. But you can say, okay, only if it's outside, only if there's an attachment added, for instance, because yeah, if you just send text, then you're probably not doing data loss prevention, or you copy paste some text, but it's probably, you probably send out an Excel file, a Word file, a PowerPoint, I don't know, a screenshot even. So it has to have an attachment, and then I turn it around, and then everything it monitors this email box. So actually, I just put it in the inbox with all the information, and then you can send stuff out, and then we check it.
I was just thinking about, or wanted you to repeat how, from a logical point of view, like sending an email, at which point are you like a circuit breaker that you say, okay, stop, I need to read the content, and then you're good to go?
Yeah, because the mail is not stopped. The mail goes outside.
Okay.
Because in the world of data loss prevention, I didn't know that, but apparently that's not the problem. The mail can go out because the moment you do something wrong, there's legal, there's your contract, there's you're an employee, you have signed agreements, you signed NDA, so that's legally all taken care of. The moment you send it out, you're doing something wrong, and yeah, you could be sued, and problem will be solved that way. The data is already gone, but they want to know it. They want to react pretty fast. It's better.
So in other words, it's not protecting you from a breach. It's just like knowing that something happened.
Yeah, knowing that something happened. That's the problem, because if somebody is sending out sensitive information, it's usually also not one time. They make a habit out of it because they're leaving their job and they're going to the next company, competition. They're taking everything with them. They're not taking one file with them. No, they're taking all the customers and the customers' information and this and that and that.
Okay.
And that. So
that's like the mass download notifications. The same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. You don't do, if you send by accident something out, then this is not for that. Then you have sensitivity labels. Hey, hello, you might have not, you might don't want to send this out. Maybe is it okay that we send it out? But this is really somebody's messing with the system. So because sensitivity labels, they will just say, okay, this is public data, and they send it out. And they relabel it, or they figure out a way to relabel it or do something else. And this is really to say, okay, now we know what's going on, instead of 6 months behind if it's too late.
And then what kind of actions can you subscribe on from the graph point of view?
I think mail.send, I guess. What was it? Mail.send. I have a lot of them these days. That's right. Wait. Where was it? Change notifications here. Call records. Oh yeah, that's true. Call records, chats, contacts, something in OneDrive, events. So that's meetings, group conversations, messages.
I was at a customer where they actually used the contact subscription. They had they built an ERP system. So what they did is, if you added a contact in the ERP system, they used the graph to write that to your contact list, so that if you're in Outlook, then you would see those people. And if you changed then something in your Outlook, they were subscribed to those changes, so they could sync them back into their own application.
Cool.
Presence is an interesting one, so you can build your own busy light.
Yeah, that's what I think Elio did. No.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
does he use that? Cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the
Printer is interesting.
I'm doing the call record now because apparently so all call records are only kept by Microsoft for 28 days, which is not long enough apparently. So I'm seeing if we can do something with the call records to save all that information. Same way, Event Hub, and then but this is no actions, just call records, and because Microsoft says 28 days, no longer. We want to keep it 3 months. Okay, take that information, dump it in SQL somewhere, and keep it. Print task definition. What the hell is that?
You can subscribe whether your cloud printer finished printing your stuff.
So there's a busy light for people and a busy light for printers these days.
Yeah.
I know that the chat messages, they inquire. See, it says here they require encryption.
Yeah.
So with a chat with an email, I get a notification. I have to get the email. Hey, there was an email. You solve it. We're not sending you the data. With a chat message, it's they really send over the data, so then it's encrypted.
Cool.
So I haven't tried that yet. I think it's harder because encryption certificate and stuff like that. Yeah. It's not gonna be simple.
Cool stuff.
Well, that's fun. Fun to play around with.
Cool.
Okay. Then no more questions, guys.
No, looks interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely have to play around with durable functions.
Oh yeah, that's also fun. If you have the use case for it, I like it.
Cool.
It's sometimes really weird to debug because of the steps what I said, but But still it. And if you log something wrong, because like in the beginning I had here I just had a log statement. Where was my doable function? Here. I just had a log information, and then just log. Okay, let's do. But I had it in the beginning. I had it in this one. Just here, log information. Yeah, start. I had like 10 emails and like 50 starts. I was like, well, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, okay. Then there's something like context dot already run or something like that.
It feels like a special way of multi-threading.
Yeah.
In a way, it is, right?
Yeah, in their way it is, of course, but it's assume it's not the regular way, because it needs to be a little bit different. But of course, that's or the state management for that must be insane in order to get that working from an infrastructure perspective.
Yeah, because I had an issue with so I get the where is it? Here, I get the totally at the end I do get message and email from attachments. I do it here to do all these runs. I moved this one all the way to the top. But yeah, I just do call activity. If it works, then send back true. If it fails, send back false. But I never updated my entity, so my information. So I was like, all my emails are missing information because here I did it, and then it was in the end. I didn't know that, but yeah, I didn't save my email information. So I got the email, and then yes, the content is empty. What the fuck? So yeah, you have to save it again and do the. So yeah. State management is a little bit hard to think about. Because it looks like it saves everything, but no. Because
it must be quite some memory scanning. What has changed? What is different? And then check that. So it would be interesting.
Yeah. And then this one, I tried it. So this is the default setup. So then you have like a function A and another function, but this is a mess. This is like 300 lines of code almost. So it was starting to get unreadable. So the first time I deployed it was like, okay, let's take this out into a new file and see if then it still works, because I can't find any examples with different files. Yeah, but it's still deployed. It's also weird. But still, yeah, cool stuff. And fast. Totally fast. I was, very...
Yeah, but we are hitting half an hour, so that's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect piece. So thanks, Rick, for the showcasing and the demo.
No worries.
And see you around until next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.